Hey, all you subscribers and YouTubers. Okay. Sitting here trying to think of something because I want to make up some videos. I just planted that one. In fact, it's getting up on there now to a subscriber of mine. I couldn't help but reply back to him in video. He has some smoking, of course. You know, with everything going on. Okay. We all have pet peeves, okay? And one of my pet peeves is sitting in judgment of others. Now, this is off the topic of just everyday judging others, okay? I came across when Gladys was in the hospital, Jim's minister, her minister is the same person, okay? He don't like me because of the lack of knowledge. Basically, he has up here, even though he's ordained, he's a minister, and he feels, I guess, he knows more than I do, okay? But he does not deal in the dark side like I do, because most people are afraid, okay? Most people do not want to talk about the devil's demons. Most people don't want to talk about the devil, period. They're afraid of it, okay? Well, I came across the experience with him on the day that Gladys was admitted into the hospital, showing me no respect, okay, for being who I am, alright? And I've been tossing this around, you know, in my head for a couple weeks now. When she gets back here, and of course he's been here to see Jim, he went to the hospital, the VA, to see Jim, but his lack of response to me was out of respect for me, not as a human being, but for me as for what I do, okay? What are your thoughts on this? Mine is a little bit of resentment because I do things that most people don't want to even deal with, okay? Not that I like what I'm doing, I despise it. David will tell you that, John will tell you that, anybody that knows me well enough will tell you I despise it, but it's a calling of God that I have. Because people do not just go out and do what I do. You follow what I'm saying? I've been tossing around how I'm going to approach him about this, because talk in this small town, when you deal in something that I deal with, they don't look at it as a learning tool, as I teach y'all on YouTube, or do they look at it as a gift given from above, okay? They look at it, small, narrow-minded people in this area, as being a cult because that's what they've been taught. And only certain people that are ordained or, you know, whatever, can go out and do what I can do because they have the authority, okay? This is what I'm talking about, judging others, you know? When Gladys was in the hospital, I spoke to her, and she said to me right in front of the minister, "Where's God at now when we need him?" You know, meaning, you know, with Jim and his illness, right? I said, he's always been there. Jesus never fails. And he just put his head down. He didn't say nothing. He shuffled his feet a little bit. He did not say anything. He was nervous. He didn't... And I looked up at him, and I had this grin on my face. I said, you never once asked me how I'm dealing with the situation here at home, okay? But I can tell you that I'm a strong woman, okay? And he looked at me very arrogantly, and he says, "Oh, yeah, I know, that's what I've heard." You know, well... What would you, how would, okay, I got some really good people as subscribers. I gotta get rid of smoke. How would you have dealt with that? Okay? This is what I'm talking about, judging others in a wrongful manner. My theory on it is, this is how I feel about being judgmental toward others. It's wrong. It's not up to us to judge. There's a higher force called God, okay, that is going to judge, not us, but God himself, okay? Everybody is going to be judged. So why should we take it upon ourselves to be judged by others? Okay, yeah, it's in some people's personalities, it's just the way they are, blah, 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 blah. No, there's such a thing as being courteous, too. Okay? So how would you have approached this? How would, I'm still debating because I know I'm going to see him, because he comes here to the house, all he has to do is walk across the parking lot, and right here he is. Alright? I want to ask him and confront him about this. Okay? And I don't know how to go about doing it, because I felt that he every time I talked about my faith, and it wasn't me that was questioning my faith, it was Gladys, you see. How would you folks approach this? Because people are kind of like afraid to a degree to approach a minister. Okay? So-called minister, if you will. Alright? He had said some things to me that was very unkosher. I could have turned him into the Methodist Society Church, but I figured, hey, what the heck? Where would it get me, right? Okay. Being judgmental toward others hurts people. Especially if you're trying to do what you think is right anyway, by saving souls, by going out there and doing what I do. Teaching others, okay, excuse me, the hazards of dealing with what I deal with, and people being put in a bind where they're asking for help when the ministers don't even hear them. Okay? How would you guys feel about that? How would you approach that situation? Because I know it's coming. And I'm the type of person I have to say what I feel, because it will bother me otherwise. Excuse me. Some people would say blow it off. I've had too many, basically, encounters with the same preacher. Okay? And Gladys don't think too much of him because of what he has said to me in the past. And but this last trick kind of like did it, And the thing about it is when he came to give her communion, he gave me communion, which I felt holy. I was completely cleansed. I felt great that day. But I said to him, I said, "You see that plaque up there?" I said, "That was my grandmother's plaque. I've carried it around with me for 25 years. The saying on it says, 'Jesus never fails.' It's the only plaque I've ever seen with that kind of saying on it, alright?" And he squirmed then. So, let me know what you folks think. Alright? Talk to y'all later. This is Try 76.